This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, we are playing Orzhov Yorion Doom Foretold. Now, a quick note, I've got some new audio equipment I'm trying out. As always, you can leave me a comment and let me know how good, bad, and ugly I sound. Also, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to switch it. It's supposed to be over here so you guys can see the cards. Professional. Real professional. So, what am I doing? This deck was a surprise registered deck by some very, very good players. Seth Manfield, Brad Nelson, Ben Stark are among three top name pros who registered this for the Pro Tour Online that's taking place as we speak, as I record this video. And it was a big surprise to a lot of people because they didn't think it has a very good matchup with the best deck, Team of Reclamation, and it was a bit of a written off deck. So I'm going to be playing it today. I haven't poked around a lot, and I've made a few adjustments for best of one. The first thing I've done is add Kaya's Wrath to the main deck because I really don't feel comfortable playing best of one without sweepers in a control deck most of the time. We'll see how this turns out. We'll talk about it at the end. I also added Omen of the Sun. The cards that were here instead were Agonizing Remorse, a few more copies of Kaya, the Orzhov Usurper, and a few less land, so I added to the land count as well. There was also one more Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis. So, I'm curious how adding Omen of the Sun and Kaya's Wrath to the main deck will do. Will we be good against Sacrifice and aggressive red decks, which run rampant in best of one, or will we kind of flounder, so to speak? I also raised the land count to a mere 36, which normally does well for me. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, this deck is going to lose if it doesn't hit land drop 4 and 5. So that's the main thing I'm on the watch for. I don't trust the mana base. I really don't. Because we don't have those early cards that also draw cards like Growth Spiral and Uro for that velocity that helps out so much in other types of control decks. We're just playing one land a turn, playing one spell a turn, and trying to make it a good one. But we have a lot of cards that really help us. Or Kaya is very helpful against the Sacrifice decks. The -1 can exile Witch's Oven and Cauldron Familiar. The +1 Eating the Graveyard is very good against Elspeth Conquers Death. It also takes out Uro, of course. Frickin' Uro. Glass Casket's a nice one to take out things like shark tokens and various other token creatures along the way that you can still blink with Yorion to reset again and again, but it also is important against cards like Flourishing Fox that are otherwise really hard to kill. The main thing that separates this deck to me are the rats. The Burglar Rat and the Yarg's Fenlurker. When they enter the battlefield, the opponent discards cards. We fight a battle on the opponent's hand and also on their battlefield, putting a lot of tension on them to get all the right plays. This deck feels weird to me without Teferi. Quite honestly, I really just want to play blue for the Teferi, but alas, apparently that is not the best way to do it, but man do I want to, and I might before the day is over. 3 Yorions in the main, 1 as the companion. Yeah, Yorion in the main deck. It's that important to the strategy, it's that crucial to what we do. There is a lot of tension between Yorion and Doom Foretold, because Doom Foretold eats up your permanents that Yorion wants to blink. So, depending on your draw, you often have to figure it out. Am I a Doom Foretold deck? Am I a Yorion deck? And play into that strategy as you go. So I look forward to working on that skill, as I haven't done any games with this deck, honestly, before we dive in and let this nonsense begin. But I'm really excited to play it, so I figured I'll just hit record and see what happens. So, with that said, let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. What a slow hand on the play. If we don't draw land, we're just wrecked, but I think we give it the shot because it has the potential to go Fenlurker into Doom or Wrath and an Elspeth, but my goodness, all the 4s and 5s. Ugh. Let's start by giving our opponent the bird. You know, the finger. Yes, I know the finger goose. Top Gun references. They will continue until the movie is known by heart by all. Alright. Give me a swamp. We want to actually cast our Fenlurker. There was a land on top too, that hurts. So, does our opponent... I have never played against this mono blue Stonecoil deck when they don't have Sea Dash or Octopus on 2. Like, every time. I don't know how the heck they do it, but let's see. On this day, in this spot, do they have it? Not yet. Not yet. Alright, so you're telling me there's a chance. Fenlurks. Would you like to quench this? Quench is pretty good against us. We have a lot of expensive stuff. We're not going to do much for a few turns. Whoa, okay, they're mutate. Who runs this card? But what are they holding up? Brazen Borrower? It's possible. Ooh, their draw's awkward too. Isn't that something? Well, if they have Brazen Borrower, going for Doom Foretold is really bad. Going for Elspeth Sun's Nemesis might be pretty good. Yeah, Doom Foretold, they just bounce it. Let's see if we can get more permanents cooking before then. I feel like the opponent's got something, don't you? I don't have to be eager to do damage. We can play conservatively. No attacks. I do want them to commit something. I also have to watch out for Gem Razor with my Doom Foretold. Yeah, there's the Borrower. They take out a token. No attacks, pass. I really do want them to commit something before I worry about this stuff, so I think what we want to do, we can assume that this is going to get attacked by the Borrower, so let's make the humans.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me!
Actually, we can test our opponent here with an attack, but I want to keep the Fenlurker around. So we'll just poke with this token. See if they wanted to somehow flash something in, make this bigger. I'm not assuming I know what the heck is going on with them. I'm assuming I don't. Charming Prince. Alright, let's try exiling the Fenlurker, get a little card advantage. And let's get a Yorion into our hand. And Brazen Borrower comes down. Had a feeling that was the play, but when they're playing the flash game, I'd rather be careful. Goose. Okay. Elspeth is shot down by a Brazen Borrower.
You will meet my gaze again.
And still the mana is open. Let's see if we can pull them out, get them to make a move. I'm just going to attack with the tokens, which I don't care very much about. I don't want any ambushy shenanigans on these. They are my set pieces for Yorion. Okay, nothing from the opponent. They are chillin'. I think I'll go for the ECD. Just try to take the Borrower out. It's like we're still not giving the opponent good targets for Brazen Borrower, and they have Lazotep Plate, so that's what they're slow rolling. What a bizarre take on the deck so far, but I love it. It's quite the card. But once Chapter 2 here goes off, it's going to be hard for them to interact with whatever I play. Adds an extra cost to their spells. So does that mean now I can Yorion? First, let's send the 1/1s. Okay. Let's go for it. If the opponent counters it somehow, it comes back from the Elspeth Conquers Death, which is a big appeal to the setup, the reason we played the ECD first. But it looks like our opponent's going to take action. They fetch an island. They mutate the Shore Shark onto the Stone Coil. If they go over, the ECD hits that. They bounce the Prince. I mean, if that's the best they can do, it's not going to work out very well for them. Let's get rid of the Shore Shark Stone Coil thing. Exile a card from hand. Third card we've hit with this Fenlurker, by the way, if you want to keep track. I missed what it was. I like knowing the spoils. Another Borrower? Yeah, it's some kind of a like flash interaction filled mutate deck. Pretty fresh, to be honest. Definitely more of a mutate deck I would get into. And now our opponent with this mana open, they can flash in the Shore Shark, right? That has to be the play. So how do we torture it? If they bounce the Yorion, that's fine. I guess I will attack with these. Don't want to give up the Fenlurker. Alright, let's try out the Charming Prince to exile the Yorion. If the opponent has bounce your Yorion here, we'll just have to wait till next turn. They should wait till I target, though. Otherwise, I just target the Fenlurker. Yeah. So, return. Prince comes in. Prince can exile Fenlurker. The opponent's also lucky we don't have a land here to punish them a little. And let's play the Doom Foretold. Take out that Shore Shark. See, we waited for our opponent to commit their mana and then we caught him with the Doom Foretold. They lose another Lazotep plating. Now they lose the Shark. And that's game. We are on the play. We have a Prince to try to help us draw the land we need, and then a bunch of 3-drops. Oh, are you mono red? I kind of hope so. Scry it up. Those aren't land. That is scary. If we whiff on this next land drop, this whole game starts to fall apart. Runaway Steamkin, no! Yes! That was scary. I'm okay. We're going to be okay, everybody. Oath of Kaya. Get wrecked. Do we attack? We could hold off for like a Fervent Champion. Stop a light up the stage. I'm doing it. I'm holding back. I'm not in a rush to beat this deck. I don't have to be in a rush to beat this deck. That's an annoying card. That is a powerful card. Kaya doesn't solve it. So what are we doing? Do we play Treacherous Blessing and draw 3? I don't think so. I think we just get the Yorion. Because the sooner we have a Yorion with these cards, the better off we'll be. We have to top deck a land, but it could happen. No blocks. The opponent didn't play anything first to pump the Annex. What's up with that? Now they play a Steamkin. They could have hit me harder. I guess they really wanted to light up the stage, but they even played their land first. I'm confused. I guess it doesn't matter the way that sequencing worked out. No! Missing land drop sucks. I guess we're doing Omen. As we get Ember Cleaved into oblivion by the opponent. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. Oh geez, is it Ember Cleave? I think it is, but we've still got a lot of life. We're going to take the biggest hit of all time, but we've got a lot of life. So we'll gain 2, we'll make 2 1/1s. I think they blocked the Steamkin and the Spitter here. Because the opponent wants to cleave this anyway. I don't want to give up the Prince. I want the Yorion loop really badly. Here we go. So let's see where the opponent puts the cleave. They go to the Steamkin so they can still use the mana. That's a big deal. Otherwise, the kin would die if they use the mana from it. Down to 7. Maybe I should have blocked the Annex and not the Spitter. Or if I put the Prince in front of the Spitter and they cleave over here, maybe I'm fine with that. Should have thought about that harder. Deep thoughts. Wow. Good job. I'm so proud of you. All right. We mana screw ourselves out of the game. That sucks. 36 lands. Couldn't hit land drop 5. We have 3 lands, so I guess we'll try this hand. The main thing I've learned about this deck is it's mana screw waiting to happen. That's been my experience so far. For some reason, you can run nearly half your deck as land and never get there. So that is what I'm on the lookout for in pretty much every game going forward. That 3rd land drop, that 4th land drop. Alright, Omen Doom is pretty cool. That should be nice. Burglar Rat says goodbye, Shock. Bone Crusher Giant says goodbye, Rat. Okay. Our opponent with the all shock hand, you know that means there's an Annex lurking, but they go with the Giant, so maybe not. Alright, we still need to draw some land here, but I'm just gonna gain the life. Against red, you usually need the life. Right now, getting stuck on 3, we have plays, but you just can't miss. Like, the format's unforgiving. That's why you have to run more land than you've ever run in Standard before. Flame Sweep. Whoa! Opponent on that next level. Alright. Well, let's just go tapped and play the Omen. I was going to play the Doom Foretold and then flash in the Omen, but we'll just do this instead. We'll do this, then we can Doom safely if we want to, or we can flash Omens. The opponent plays nothing, so we're flashing Omens. Yeah, didn't hit land drop 5 again. Might have needed it if we were under pressure. Thankfully we're not here. Our opponent, I don't know, they are a very different red deck. We see the Akroan War. Like, this is big red, isn't it? This is minor bits of advantage that the opponent is trying to eke out on me. If we just don't play any creatures, they lose the Akroan War. But if they spend 4 mana to steal a token, I'm so happy about that. Why wouldn't I go for that? There's land drop number 5. So if they play the Akroan War and steal the Yorion, we can Prince it. Hello. Let's say hi with our tokens. Oh, we're shocking tokens now, are we? They might wish they had that for the Prince, but their deck might just play a million ways to do 2 damage to things. We'll take out their token. Could have gone face and been aggressive. Maybe that's better. It's definitely not my style, though. Not my style. Here's the Prince. Send that away. And that's coming back, so let's play another Omen so we get even more value. Let's crack in. It is pretty sweet that Charming Prince can exile a card that you own. It's almost like the Prince convinces your creature to come back to the right side. So until next turn, all our critters have to attack. Lock that in. That's a thing that's going to happen. So can the opponent come back from this with their kind of bizarre red control deck? What do you think is the top end? Big Chandras? Straight up fair cast Drakuseth. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they play to win games. Maybe it's just about beating smaller aggro decks. Another Akroan War? With the Charming Prince coming back? Okay. Your face. Give me back the Yorion. Why not? I bet they missed that Flame Sweep. They all have to attack, and then the Akroan War is going to kill most of them, but the Prince I can exile. Don't see a big reason to play the Doom Foretold. Making them sacrifice a war doesn't mean anything to me. And of course, blinking the Oath means they die on the following end step. I like this hand. Let's go. Let's go. We have to lead on the castle because we don't have a plains, but otherwise we're curving out to 3, which feels harder than it should. But it's been the problem. Never getting to play on curve with this deck is so frustrating. So that's the first thing I'm going to change if I change something. There's got to be a way to lower the tap land count and make the mana a little better. There has to be. It doesn't seem like a 2-color deck should be this miserable to play from a mana perspective. This looks good. Like, this is easily the best mana I think I've had. Ashiok. Oh man. We're up against a Planeswalker deck. I think this deck probably does well against a Planeswalker deck. We'll put it to the test, but... Right, Birth. We will punish our opponent with our rat skills. But first, 3 new cards, please. Definitely seems like we won't be under a lot of life total pressure, so slamming a Blessing this game should be okay. Here's Narset. It's a good thing we got the Blessing down first. Opponent finds Vraska. Yeah, all Planeswalkers all day. That's the name of the game here. Let's go get a white source. Play out the Oath. Kill off the Narset.
You are a mighty warrior. I concede.
Getting Narset off the board's a pretty big game. Curious if the opponent has like Bacon or what they have to play the Vraska here. I don't see any black or green, so they need Interplanar Beacon. Our opponent going deep into the tank here. They only have 1 timeout. And the choice is the Prophecy, which is a Scry 2. Interesting value card I haven't seen much of in a while. 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. So next turn they can choose a card name, and when they cast a spell of that name, they draw 2. So they play 2 of these. So they're going to draw 4 cards next turn. Wow. And they keep on top? Alright, they're feeling good about their chances. Let's see if the opponent's willing to block this rat. Snap block. Love it. Alright. Shuffler's fine though, everybody. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Here they are. Discard a card, kill your wall, draw 3. I mean, am I supposed to discard a Yorion here? I can probably discard a Blessing. I'll give up a land, just because I have another one and I'm probably going to draw plenty more. Our opponent gets a draw 4. At this point, we're both just going to have a million cards. The real question is, how do you beat stuff? The opponent names Yorion. Oh no. Wait. Okay, so I guess they're playing that next turn, and they have Elspeth Conquers Death this turn. They have 2 cards in hand. Can I get rid of both cards? I can only get rid of 1. Oh my goodness. This is going to get epic. Absolutely epic. I really needed a way to discard another card here. I mean, I could try to draw into it. What would I draw? No, I don't have enough mana. I don't have enough mana to play Treacherous Blessing and Charming Prince and another Charming Prince or Rat. Yeah, I guess it's just another Yorion. Well, what's going to get exiled by this ECD when the Yorion comes down? It'll be one of these, right? And the next turn our spells will cost an additional set of mana? Alright, well in that case we don't play another Yorion, right? We just stock up on cards for the future. Having that on the board won't do much. This on the board might do much. So we'll exile the Rat, hit the Vraska, because the opponent's other card is a Yorion. Or else they wouldn't have named it. Maybe it's on top of their deck, actually. That's quite possible. That would be next level. Alright, to Fairy Time Raveler down. So this doesn't look like a deck where Glass Casket matters. Oh wait, you have Stonecoil Serpent. Maybe it does. Definitely not feeling the Wrath. The third Treacherous Blessing, questionable. This is going to be such a weird game. What? Yorion? No way. Draw 4. Blink all of these toys again. Frickin' epic. I love it. I don't know why we're doing 5-color Planeswalkers, but the Prophecy Yorion thing, like, I think that's a good foundation. The opponent's deck, I have to see what the rest of it is trying to do. It seems really greedy. It seems super greed to me right now. Alright, one to the top, one to the bottom. What are we going to do about their Yorion? I guess we have an Oath if they block the Prince. But putting it in the graveyard is actually good for them because they have another ECD. So I just need to get more Rats, quite frankly. I need to get more discard effects into the loops here. This is so silly. We will find the Rats. They're coming. They are coming. Alright, exile this so it's ECD safe. Discard a card. I'm sure you got an extra land or something now to throw away, right? You just drew 4. I think you're okay. Oh, Doom Foretold's another card we need to find. Start getting these permanents off the field. But instead, all we draw is Gaea's Wraths. Elspeth Conquers Death is good. You can go. You can go. Actually, you can stay. You can go. You can go. This can go. This can go. Here we go again. Choose a card name. This might be one of the longest, silliest games I've ever played. We'll see. There's definitely a chance of that right now. Garruk Cursed Huntsman. You need the mana. You must have a beacon. You must have it. Narset.
Humble your mind. There is all to open your mind.
What's coming back?
First, open the heart.
Some awesome Planeswalker. There's a Clarion, sure. Get rid of my toys. Rude, but effective. Return of Yorion. Send away these blessings. Alright, we're still under an ECD tax. But we can play our ECD if we want to. Our opponent getting a Planeswalker back is frustrating, but not the end of the world. They named a Garruk. So they want to kill this, so we want to be able to get it back. Yeah, it's like that, y'all. Let's just not have their Yorion lurking around. I think it really is the key card here. We'll scry you to the bottom. We will attack your Narset. And now if the opponent plays a Garruk here...
Don't have to be this way.
If they play the Garruk, we get the Yorion back eventually. Alright. Away with you. Away with you. Away with you. I think we have multiple caskets now. Yep, away with you. I want the ECD. We could just drop off the land, but I do want to keep hitting land drops indefinitely. Let's give up the Gaea's Wrath. 15 life and 2 blessings still in rotation, by the way. Half the deck gone, no Doom Foretold. It's like doing it on hard mode, but that happens. All the Kaya's Wraths, though. All the Treacherous Blessings, it feels like.
Listen to my whisper.
Ashiok. Okay.
Enlightenment begins within.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying to figure out what the heck I'm gonna play next turn. Uh-oh. Well, they didn't play the Garrick. It's kind of a weird name on their prophecies. I think they messed up. But another Elspeth Conquers Death, making life miserable. Fortunately, we have another Yorion to play, so we can do a Casket. Should have played this after I blinked out the blessings, actually. My bad. Get their last card. Down to 11. There goes the Garrick. Play the Yorion. Down to 9. We're going to have to really keep an eye on that. Blink you, blink you, blink you, because why not? These don't have any hits. Submit. Yorion Tribal putting in work. So, let's get rid of that. It's about to ultimate. Could be risky.
Back to shadows.
Draw the cards. Oh my gosh. Is it enough land, my precious? How many turns have we drawn 6 cards? This is so ridiculous. Oh, there go the prophecies. They get to look at the top card of each player's library. We finally cleared these prophecies. It's amazing how much value these had the potential to get. But then the opponent assumed they could play the Garrick instead of the ECD, and that's where they didn't get the value. Narset, draw, discard,
Let
try to
thoughts
kill
flow
something.
like river rapids.
Nope. Have you had enough pain? Would you like to tap out now? Another Narset. Another draw. Potential to discard. It's a land, they just chuck it in the bin, and that is the game. So if we were going to keep playing, the next thing I think I really want to do is worry about my life total. It was getting really low. Probably play Oath of Kaya and Orzhov Usurper. Oath this thing. Orzhov start eating Graveyard, I suppose. Gain 2 life from eating the Stone Coil. But yeah, we're way ahead at that point. Oh yeah. Hopefully Kaya tears up some Rakdos life gainy, sacrificey witches oven-y thing. Hello indeed. Hello indeed. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I see you. I see you. Okay. Let's get the rat online. And then hopefully we get to exile this before an oven. Or if an oven comes down, we get to exile the oven. That would be fine too. Opponent wants to trade their rat. No rat-cat trade here. I want that thing exiled. They could have a Black Lance Paragon. Let's just play it careful.
I'm gonna make you.
Alright, no more cat. Is there anything they could play with haste? I guess they could go red mana, Dreadhorde Butcher. So, yeah, let's be careful. Hi-ya. Alright, so, now what? I guess we attack the hand. So, let's exile you. Play this. Exile you. Plus the Kaya, get the swap exile for, I don't know, reasons.
From here on out.
And then on end step, we get these triggers. So we are going to exile the Prince with the Prince to float another discard activation and get the Burglar Rat back. Make the opponent discard something now. They drop a land and another land. They drew plenty of land. Priest. That's scary. That is very scary. Ayara will attack. I think we can let this go. Doesn't kill Kaya yet.
Lucky hit.
And exile the rat. Hit another card. And we don't draw a priest solution. So you're coming with me.
Was that due to you? You won. This time.
And what do we play for the land? Let's play this tapped. Let's hold these back. At least threaten a double block if the opponent wants to attack with a ya. Another ya goes down. And they have a Midnight Reaper. That's a total reload when they use the priest. So, what do we give up? I think it's clearly a prince. It is risky though. If they kill the other prince, we don't have a loop with Yorion. And they have 4 mana still and a whole new hand. So all our work with the rat was undone. But they drew another Yara, which isn't that great of a card. So that's the bright side. Let's exile some toys.
I'll be back. Just you wait.
Man, have we drawn a lot of land. Let's just start with 3. So exiling it doesn't do any good. But we'll submit these 2. I'm probably going to cycle this, so I'm going to play an untapped land instead. Alright, exile the Yorion. Let's try to keep it safe. Try to get more play out of the card. Opponent discards another card here. Erebos. Yeah, they keep drawing gas, we keep drawing land. It's been really gross. Okay. It's pretty good too. We need to try to preserve Kaya to kill it. If we don't... Oh, the opponent ignores the Kaya. I think that's a big mistake. We'll see. Maybe they have a different plan. Okay, it's time to give up the rat. Our opponent doesn't... Well, they've got a card in hand, but they can probably play it, is my point. Ooh, they can use the castle here. Maybe I did need the rat. But maybe I'll draw another discard effect. I've drawn a lot of land. I'd like to stop now. Alright, let's keep looping the prince. Anything that we draw with an ETB... Come on. Alright. Let's start by cycling you. This is so bad. Alright, exile you.
I'm gone for now, but not forever. The crueler the opponent.
Exile you, of course, and you.
I'll be back. Well done. Look to see me no more.
Do you think the opponent has a Fenlurker? They really could, right? They could have another... They could run Yarok's Fenlurker in this deck. I think that's a reason to hold this land. Because if the opponent figures out how to stop the Priest loop by... Or the Yorion loop by saving Priest to the right time, we're gonna need another. The other thing we could do is use the Priest to scry instead and end the loop. And since we have another Yorion, I think that might be right. We could also gain life, but yeah, let's try scrying. Kaya's Wrath, Oath of Kaya. I don't know which order to do these in. I guess the Wrath. Clearing the board could be definitely good enough. Look, guys, that's where they hid the spells. Opponent is a card drawing machine. Unbelievable. Alright, still going face. I'm about to Wrath the board. The opponent's going to want to kill this Yorion anyway. It's definitely a giveaway that I'm up to something, but we'll see. Will the opponent catch on? They play a Bastion of Remembrance. Oh, what a frustrating little deck you've got there. Alright. Give me some life.
I'm gone for now, but not forever.
And get off my battlefield. They have 10 cards in exile. That's just something to keep in mind because Kaya is close to an ultimate if we want 10 life. Alright. We could just play the Yorion. I think we keep eating Graveyard here.
Good for you, I won't forget this.
And we play an Oath to face. And then next turn the Yorion is so much better, but we can keep gaining life. Still holding the land in case they play Yarok's Fenlurker. Fourth Ayara, is that correct? Okay. Oh man, I'm lucky Ayara isn't a very good card, or I would have been absolutely wrecked. Glass Casket, nice. Alright, -5. Take 12, I gain 12. Yorion. Blink these. Now I could stuff this in the box, but I'm going to be removing it anyway. I guess I could go face, but I think I'd rather just kill this with the Oath. Save the casket. Our opponent could still pull another priest out of their butt.
Notice I didn't say fair.
My, how the tables have turned. Kaya did some heavy lifting this game. Just kept me in it long enough to draw out of a pretty awkward draw. And we got there. Oh, almost top 1,000. Almost. It's a good looking hand, assuming there's a plane somewhere in our future. I think this hand can spar. Spar with the best of them. Oh, Burglar Rat, so cute. Templeton in the house. Discard a card. Hallowed Fountain Gamer. Yeah, read it and weep. Give up one of your precious cards. No. Doom Foretold. Oh no! The mirror! The mirror is here. Okay, so against the mirror, looks like they have blue, which means they have Teferi. So we want to play cards that play around that pretty well. I definitely think we just want to start drawing cards. Just make this a battle about card advantage as soon as possible. And we are equipped for that battle. So, here's the other thing. Do we just play Doom and start letting them sacrifice their toys? Feels like it. Like, why wouldn't we, right? Let's be the one who knocks. Let's make Doom Foretold happen. These Kaya's Wraths are probably dead unless something crazy happens. The opponent goes after my rat with an Oath of Kaya. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a messy chess match. Another Blessing. It's pretty absurd. But I don't think that these Wraths are going to be good, so I'm not afraid to discard them, and I'm just going to try to outdraw my opponent and get to all the good cards. Scry 2. None of these are very important. Yorion would be nice. Omens are nice. More Dooms, possibly. that would be a nice card. The opponent goes after my blessing? Okay. I mean, they can do that. We've got more. Next turn, spells are going to cost more. So this turn, I want to play spells, not creatures. So I think that means Oath of Kaya. Point that at your face. And another blessing. Because why not? Pile on the card advantage. Alright, the temple can go. They're down to an egg, so now they need some battlefield presence. I would really like some Kaya to start eating their battlefield. They play a Doom Foretold of their own. Absurd, you guys. This is absurd. Alright, that's out, that's out. What's in the graveyard? Nothing to get back with Elspeth Conquers Death, and it's about to expire. This can be played at instant speed after the after the Conquer's Death trigger wears off. So let's hit him with a Fenlurker. And then I think we hit him with an Omen, which leaves us with a mana to spare for the turn. We could also just pay 5 for an Oath if we want to get an Oath onto the field. Because this can flash in, which is a big deal. So yeah, I think I like the Oath. Oh no! No, we get the Yorion. That's the best use for our mana. We play the Prince. We exile the Fenlurker. We get the Yorion. We get ready to rock. We set an upkeep stop if we need to flash in Omen to keep our Doom Foretold. Opponent loses a Fae of Wishes? Alright, they're down to no permanents. They might Wrath here, thinking to get rid of my Doom Foretold. Yep, there it is. But we flash in Omen of the Sun. Like a frickin' boss. Get him. Draw. Another Doom. They have 2 cards in hand. Let's do it. Let's burn 2 Doom Foretolds on their hand. Leave them with nothing. Leave them a broken shell of a magician. Legion's End. And Dance of the Manse. The one they just couldn't bear to see part. Land off the top. Attack with the critters. Let's play Oath of Kaya, and we'll play a Yorion, and that's game. Sweet. What an I find that some people hate mirrors. I find stuff like that really interesting. And we are back for the post-games wrap. We started today at rank 1263 in Mythic and finished at 858. We went 5-2, 1 loss on camera to Red with bad mana, another loss that is off camera to a Rakdos Sacrifice deck with a pretty amazing draw. Both of those, the deck definitely suffered from being slow and super clunky. Either I didn't have enough land, or I had tapped lands, and those just aren't, it feels so bad. So the deck needs some way to get smooth, and I'm thinking about adding Birth of Meletis. I'm also just thinking about adding 2 more land, because even when we flooded, we found ways to win those games from the power of the deck and the insane amount of draw power of Treacherous Blessing. But if we didn't have untapped land on 2, untapped land on 3, untapped land on 4, we just lost games. And Fabled Passage is okay, but maybe 4 Temples and 4 Triomes is too much. The castles actually are a lot better if you don't run Temple. So maybe I cut the Temples, keep the Triomes, and maybe I add Birth of Meletis just to make sure we hit a few drops. Omen of the Sun was underwhelming. It was good, but I think it might be a 1 or 2 of, not the 4 of that I currently have it as. And Kaya's Wrath was completely underwhelming, almost completely useless throughout the day, and I think I would try Basilica Bellhaunt in this spot if the mana remains good enough to cast this kind of spell. I would love to get another Kaya Orzhov Usurper in the deck. So, changes I would make, I would cut the Kaya's Wrath. I would go down to 1 or 2 Omen of the Sun. I would go up 1 Kaya Orzhov Usurper. I would add 1 or 2 lands or 1 or 2 Birth of Meletus, and I would add 2 or 3 Basilica Bellhaunt and see how that plays. So that's just for the cool kids, because you stayed till the end. You get the tips on how I would adjust it. Everybody else, they get the list from the start of the video. Frickin' net deckers, now you know how to identify them. Anyway, I do have a shout out. I have a few shout outs from Patreon this week, so we're going to start out with this one, and it's going to put me on a little soapbox, so have a little rant. This is a shout out from Harry on Patreon. Harry says, everyone who plays cycling in best of 1, you are not good people. Look, cycling, by the way, in best of 1 unranked, I think is what that was supposed to say. But here's the thing. What we like, we can't expect other people to like. There are a lot of people who hate my punchable face, my sarcastic sense of humor, and the fact that I love control decks. They hate control decks. Those people are still around. They'll sound off in comments right now. Some people hate the decks I play. But you can hate the deck I play. I would say don't hate the person. So while I appreciate the sentiment, Harry, we all get frustrated sometimes, don't take it out on the person. I know I'm guilty of this too sometimes. I play it up for humor, for fun, and sometimes I am honestly frustrated. But anytime I use 2 or 3 brain cells and reflect on the situation, don't get mad at somebody for playing a game they like the way they want to play it. Or maybe they don't like the deck either, and they're just playing for the knowledge, playing for the experience, which I encourage a lot. I play all kinds of different decks, including decks I don't necessarily like, to learn more about them and to share them with you, because you might enjoy them. And if somebody plays a competitive deck in unranked, I find that frustrating when I'm playing jank or trying some new brew. I do not enjoy that. I sympathize with people who find that frustrating. But it's also not our place to tell people where and when to play certain decks. We can get frustrated and we can talk about it, but I don't have power over you. I can't tell anybody to do something and expect them to do it. That's not how it works. Adults don't tell adults what to do, and people change that way. People have to change because they want to. So part of the purpose of the channel is to keep sharing interesting decks, and maybe people will try them and fall in love with them, and then they don't feel a need to spam so much mono red and cycling. We can hope. There are those degenerates who just want nothing else in this world. God bless them. So, little soapbox moment, but thank you for the shout out, Harry. And thank you for the support on Patreon, and thank you everybody over there. And it's time for me to start promoting, because on this coming Wednesday is a streamer release event, you guys. So you know what that means. Come over to Twitch pretty much all day Wednesday. I will be streaming with new cards from M21. Come say hi. It's always a festive atmosphere and in a very exciting stream, and I usually go pretty long hours. So please come out, say hello. If you're one of my literally over 1,000 viewers who used a Twitch Prime sub in the last 30 days, it's a great time to come renew the sub and celebrate with the Twitch chat and have some fun. So I will see you Wednesday for the early access event on Twitch. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.